Ba-da-da-da. Do-do-do-do. Ba-da-da-da-da. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Do-do-do-do-do. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Hello, everybody. How you doing? My name is Invicta. Welcome to the Week 11 wrap-up for the quick snap here. The Niners just got done destroying the Cardinals in what is almost the most boring game of the week, if it wasn't for, the Cowboys. But I'm here by myself today. No one said anything in the chat that we've got, so I'm going to be rocking a solo quick snap tonight. Your boy Cindy V here coming at you live. Thank you very much for tuning in. And for those of you who are watching this on the VOD, make sure you click the like button. It would be greatly appreciated, as these quick snaps are the best way for us to bring you new content here on YouTube, as well as keep up with the algorithm, and I appreciate it. So 38-10, the Niners absolutely dismantled the Cardinals in a game that wasn't even a game. The Cardinals barely had the lead for basically one quarter, and that was it. And then the Niners just ran all over them. Colt McCoy ended with 218 and one interception. Then he got yanked for Trace McSorley in the third quarter, who did basically no better. And it was just a smackdown. The Niners looked really good, surprisingly. And unfortunately for me, that Brandon Ayuk only literally needed one more catch, and I would have won my fantasy team game, but he didn't. He did have 2 TDs. Jimmy G was 20 for 29 for 228 and 4 interceptions. Just lit it up. I mean, I don't know what the I don't know what the Arizona Cardinals are doing in the secondary, but they are just beat up all over the place. Kittle ended, of course, with 4 receptions for 84, 2 TDs. My boy Brandon Ayuk, literally, come on, just one more pat, man, just one more catch, and then we would have gotten it. 2 for 20 with 2 TDs. Christian McCaffrey, of course, did a pretty good job. He only rushed for 7 times, which is pretty surprising, but he did have a long scamper for 20 yards, finished with 39 yards, but he did catch 7 receptions for 67. It was very good. And, I mean, Colt McCoy was thrown to the Wolves, and the Niners just ate him up. Like, they actually looked like a solid NFC West team. And, now going to I believe they're going to be 6-4 or 7-4, something like that. The Niners are looking pretty scary. They're peaking at the right time. Same thing goes for the Cowboys, of course. The Cowboys destroyed the Vikings, seen by, everybody. And that, I would say that tonight's game was definitely the most boring one, if it weren't for the Cowboys and Minnesota game. So, yeah. So thank you all very much for being here again. I'm doing a solo quick snap, solo Rock Hard Rob, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, I think we've all pretty much accepted the quick snap is going to be the name, which is fine by me, because, I mean, it was a name that I just came up with on the fly, and it seemed to make sense to me. Welcome everyone who's just now tuning in. Remember, if you like these videos and you like this extra content, make sure you click the like button. It's the best way to support our channel. I really would appreciate it. And of course, check the links down below for the Patreon as well. So thank you, Lonesome Troll, Dylan, Micah, P. Reezy, Calfredo, Tyler, Flamespitter, Chaos Knight, Gaming Scott, Craig. I think I've got everyone. Hippo, NG Wolf Gamer. Thank you all very much for being here. Looking towards the other games of the week here, we had what was probably the scariest game of, I say, the entire week was obviously the Eagles almost losing to the Jeff Saturday Colts 17-16. We had the Jets losing in a hilarious anti-miracle with the Patriots taking back the final punt of the game all the way. I really, really wish I would have picked the Patriots. I was going against my gut. I thought maybe the Jets would have an actual chance against them, but no, they're still the Jets. And Zach Wilson apparently not blaming himself or the offense, despite only putting up 77 yards. It's not good. It's not good at all. The Jets game was when your quarterback almost rushes for more than he passed. That's not good, especially when both of the totals are under 100 yards. Mac Jones looked good, but it was 3-3 for 3 quarters almost, until finally they scored it at the very, very end on the punt return. Other games, of course, the Rams falling to the Saints. Knew that was going to happen. Of course, the Rams are just horrible. Somehow, some way, the Lions ended up winning, much to the chagrin of everyone except Coach Krendor. The Lions take the win, 31-18. Just a solid, just a solid week of football. Just really great. Lots of boring games. I think the most exciting one was probably the KC Chargers game. That was last night, the Sunday Night Football game, 30-27. The Chiefs doing what they always do and beating the Chargers on the road. Chargers are very good at basically losing fourth quarter games. I mean that's what they do best. Them and the Ravens. Although the Ravens did win this week. Again, lots of really not great games. 13-3 over Carolina. The Packers, of course, getting destroyed. We talked about that on the last quick snap, and we'll be covering all the games on the canonical episodes for the Three Guys Talk About Football podcast here. And it's one of those weeks where it's like there were some playoff implications. It would have been nice if the Bears had beaten the Falcons for the Bucks to stay just on pace, I guess, with the NFC South. But yeah. Checking in with chat really quickly. Yeah, we've all accepted the quick snaps as the only voter. I'm pretty sure that we all voted on it. So, it was the better of the zero names that we came up with. It was just something I came up with on the fly. Broncos failing at offense as usual. Yeah, you talk about robbing an entire state really of money. Russell Wilson had it big time. He knows how to rob. He is the robber of all robbers. He's the robbers of all robs. But they of course lost to Vegas 22-16. Russell Wilson pulled up a whole number of points, 247 yards. Melvin Gordon, of course, was released by the Broncos today, so we have no bit to talk about now, unfortunately. Justin Fields is also injured. He's got a dislocated shoulder and listed as day-to-day. I don't know how that's going to work, but yeah, it's a new era. It's either a new era or the era is dead. One of the two. We have no more Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon III was released today by the Broncos. He was waived. He wasn't technically released. He was just waived. So, now we really do have the actual bit of who does Melvin Gordon play for now? It's not the Broncos. Maybe he will go to the Colts. Who knows? He'll go to the other horse team. I believe that there was a Giants injury. I don't remember who it was. But the with that game, I was surprised that the Lions were able to do what they did to New York at home, if that makes sense. With the Giants being at home, I thought for sure that the Lions were just going to get destroyed. But the cracks are starting to really begin to show in that fraudulent Giants offense. And it was Wan'Dale Robinson. Thank you. Here it is, ACL. I'm trying to find that replay right now, and I can't do it. But yeah, the Giants I think are not as good as their record shows. And there's a couple of teams like that in the NFL that their records I think betray their strengths. I personally feel like the Texans could be better than what they are, but they're not going to be a contender anytime soon. I think the Bears are probably overachieving right now. I think the Commanders are doing well. The Jets are probably overachieving. I think the Patriots are underachieving. But the Vikings, the Vikings were pretty much exposed against the Cowboys. That was not a fun game to watch. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't watch all the games every single week because there's just some games which is this game's way over. I'm not going to waste my time watching this. There's no overachieving in the NFC South. Everyone in the NFC South is basically where they should be right now. I think the Bucs will obviously take the division. The Falcons will probably be runner up, but the Saints love to also make late season comebacks. So who knows about that? But yeah, I have no faith in the Vikings at all. They whatever faith that I had in the Vikings are now gone. The Cowboys showed that It's one thing. It's one thing to do that to a team that is like a bad team. Like it's one thing if there's like a pretty decent or even like above average team going up against a really crappy team and they just absolutely destroy that other team, right? But the Vikings were a good team that got completely exposed and dismantled by what I would say is an overachieving Cowboys team. But the Cowboys, give them credit, they're peaking at the right time. They've got Dak back now. They've got Zeke. Zeke just returned and made a statement with his 2 TDs. Tony Pollard, of course, went off for 109 and 2 TDs as well. Like that is they're doing the Bengals thing the right way. So and they're getting healthy. And Dak looked pretty good. I'd say he didn't throw any interceptions, and he only had 3 non-completions out of a total of 25 attempts. So the Cowboys are looking pretty decent. And I think that the Eagles are, the Eagles, they looked, it was touch and go there. I honestly, I was watching that game thinking that like the Eagles might actually lose to the Indianapolis Jeff Saturdays. It was a very close game, and of course Matt Ryan, didn't really do much. It's good to see Jonathan Taylor scoring again. Everyone's number 1 picks, or mostly everyone's number 1 picks, finally getting some TDs. The game was Indy all the way until the very end. Like the Colts had a 10-3 lead at halftime, went to 13-3 at the end of the third quarter, and then they could only put up another measly little field goal. It was after JT's touchdown. It was just all field goals all day, every day at that point. And then finally the Eagles offense in garbage time finally woke up. Jalen Hurts went off for a couple of touchdowns. So again, if you're just tuning in, everyone, tonight is a solo cast. I didn't hear it from anyone else in the chat, so it's just me. Hello, hi, how you doing for this Rock Hard Rob Quick Snap edition, solo edition? Make sure you click the like button, of course. That's the best way to support these little extra content videos. And if you haven't already checked out our Patreon, please go do so. You can find the link down below in the description. And thank you and welcome all new Patreon members as well. I really appreciate each and everyone who has signed up here. It's been awesome to see it grow. We've got a lot of extra stuff coming your way for the Patreon that we're not ready to release quite yet, but I guarantee you that a lot of people will be excited and will be enjoying it as well, and we're happy to bring it to you. So to summarize it, tonight's game was barely watchable. It was boring. It was in Mexico City. Congrats to the Niners for beating up on the Cardinals and doing exactly what we figured they wouldn't do, with or without Grogu. I mean, like Kyler, look, new DMZ came out, new Modern Warfare. Like Grogu's got a lot to do. There's video games to play. What can you expect? He can't do both. He can't play video games and be an NFL quarterback. I mean, come on now. What do you think this guy is, Superman? No, he's Grogu. So thank you for watching, everyone. Again, go check out the VODs here on the Three Guys Talk About Football podcast. If you missed the last week's Canonical episode, we'll be recording the next episode tomorrow as well. And check out all the links down below. You can follow myself as well as the rest of the guys on the podcast. And once again, thank you for tuning in to the live viewers. I really appreciate it. And we will see you all on the next Quick Snap or Canonical episode, whichever one comes first. Probably the Quick Snap because it's Thanksgiving and Coach will forget.